Well, in my speech today, I'll be welcoming 3,000 delegates to this conference of Renewables UK, and we have excellent relations with Renewables UK. And our message is that at Scotland, we hope will be taking part of the lead in developing the offshore wind industry in the world. After all, we have nearly a quarter of the offshore wind energy in the whole of the EU, and we have a policy which is wholly committed to developing renewable energy. 46% of Scotland's total electricity was generated by renewable sources last year. So we are very keen to see us move towards the industry setting up various activities in Scotland, developing the supply chain in Scotland, and working together to deliver ever-increasing proportions of our electricity from offshore wind. And our vision really is a world where renewable energy plays a far greater part in keeping the lights on throughout Europe and the world. There's really several things that the government and industry need to do. Plainly, the industry needs to get going, also to reduce costs, and there's a huge amount of work being done towards that objective. Establish supply chain partners, and then set about delivering a number of very major projects. Government, for its part, needs to provide a supportive policy framework. The Scottish Government makes no bones about the fact that we think there has not been a sufficient policy support towards offshore wind. There has been, I think, too much emphasis placed on new nuclear capacity to the detriment of the further development of renewables, and not a clear enough signal post-2020 of the long-term support for offshore wind. But be that as it may, we're positive in approach. We look forward, following a yes vote in September, to having an integrated energy market in the UK where we have a greater voice, a greater say, and we believe that that will be very much to the advantage of the renewable sector as a whole and the offshore wind sector in particular. Well, I think our UK and Scottish Renewables together provide the means for us to get together as we're doing at this conference. I've lost count of the number of conferences of our UK I've attended, and it's always a pleasure to work with Maria. And I think that they do an excellent job in bringing industry and government together at a time when we really do need to work very closely together to drive the cost down. And you know, sometimes people forget that this is a relatively new industry. If the costs will come down, as I suspect, then offshore wind will be seen, I think, in a generation as perhaps the foremost means of effectively generating electricity at an affordable cost. We've already seen onshore wind costs come down enormously, where now they're less expensive than nuclear, taking the whole life of nuclear and decommissioning. And I suspect that the potential for offshore wind is even greater. So we have to think about the vision, about the long-term aim. And here in Scotland, I think we have persuaded the sector, the industry, that we are the most congenial home for offshore wind developments in the UK and possibly in Europe.